Hi everyone, in this video we'll talk about velocity and acceleration. So what is velocity? Velocity is the change in position to the time intervals where change occurs. And velocity is a vector. So we mean by it's the amount of change in a certain time. So let's come to an example. So in here it says find the change in velocity. So we know to find the slope we would use y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. And we would use the same concept for this, but by using the velocity equation, which says delta velocity or the change in velocity equal the change in displacement divided by the change in time. And for this example, y, which is here, is displacement, and time, which is x. And we know that changing we mean by, or the delta, is minusing the final minus the initial. So using the information that we have and applying what I just said, we would use the equation. We would choose any 2 points. And then, as we said, we will minus the y, or let's say the displacement in this example, which is the second displacement or the final displacement from the point that we chose. You can choose this point and this point. It's up to you, but for me, I chose those points. And putting the numbers: 2 meters, 1 meter, and 1 second minus 0.5 seconds, which would give us 2 meters per second, which is the velocity. So what is acceleration? Acceleration is the rate of change of velocity with respect to time. Acceleration has speed change with time. So velocity and speed are the same. They have the same unit, which is meter per second, but velocity is a vector and speed is a scalar. We mean by a vector which has a distance and a magnitude, but for scalar they just have, it's a magnitude and a direction, but for scalar they just have a magnitude, they don't have a direction. So this is the equation for acceleration, and this is an acceleration graph. You can see that the velocity in here and time in here, and you can see that acceleration is increasing from 0 to 30 velocity, and it took 0 to 2 seconds to increase, and it came to constant acceleration at 2 seconds till 5 seconds, and it increased again from 5 seconds to 8 seconds. Looking on this question, the velocity of a toy car is plotted on the following graph. What is the total distance traveled by the toy? So you can see that this is an acceleration graph. You can see that the velocity in here and the time in here. And so first of all, what we're going to do is we would cut the shape into shapes that we know, like triangle and rectangle or squares. But for now we did some rectangles and triangles. And for a triangle, we know is the area of a triangle. To find a triangle is a half times base times height. And so we would put a half and then the base, which is 0 to 2, and the height is 2 velocity meter per second. So putting this into our calculator, which would give you an answer of 2. And for the rectangle, we know it's just base times height. And for the base, it's 2, because we would measure it from here till here. And so 2, and the height is 2, so 2 times 2, which would give us 4. And for the other triangle, which we know to find an area of a triangle is half times base times height. And so we put the numbers from here till here, from 5 till 7, which is 2, the change, and the height is 2. So a half times 2 times 2, which would give you 2, and then doing the same for this triangle, for those two triangles, from here to here, it would be 1, and times 1, which is the height, and we know a half because it's a triangle, which would give you the answer of 1. And doing that for this, the answer of half, which is 0.5, and doing that for the second triangle. So after we did all of that, we would add all of the values. For here we got 2, here we got 4, here we got 2, and for those two triangles we got 1. So we just add 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, which would give us 9 meters for the to find the total distance of the toy, the distance that the toy travels. So question number 2, if a car increased in velocity from 5 meters per second to 15 meters per second in 3 seconds, what it is acceleration? So I would like you to stop in here, but I would like you to stop in here by trying to solve this question. But for now, I will solve it. So if a car increased in velocity from 15 meters to 5 meters, to 15 meters in 3 seconds, what is its acceleration? We know we were going to find acceleration, and we know that the equation of acceleration, which states delta velocity divided by delta t. So we have the velocity as well, we have the time. So this is, as it says, increase in velocity from 5 meters, we know this is the initial, 15 meters, we know it's the final, and the change in time, which is 3 seconds. So putting that in our equation, which would give us 3.33 meters per second. And that's all. Thank you for listening.